Today we delve into 7 habits that weaken you. In the Stoic tradition, we contemplate how to expel these habits from our lives to fortify our inner strength. Please, take a moment to sit in contemplation, for it will be a journey of self-improvement, far from the negative influences of our time. Let us commence. Stoic philosophy places a special emphasis on unwavering self-control, which stands as solid as a rock when life's turbulent waves crash upon you. Imagine yourself as the captain of a ship in a wild ocean. Amidst raging storms and surging waves, self-control is the powerful rudder that propels you forward, preventing you from being tossed to and fro by the tides of impulsivity. We've all experienced those moments when anger, frustration, or fear overwhelm us and control slips through our fingers. However, the Stoic principle teaches us that we possess the ability to govern our reactions. Instead of acting impulsively, we should pause, take a deep breath, and then consciously respond to external stimuli. This takes practice and patience, but ultimately, it fortifies our inner core and renders us more resilient against life's challenges. Stoic self-control is like a tranquil harbor amidst a tempestuous ocean. It enables us to regulate our emotions and make wise decisions, independent of external circumstances. Remember that you are the captain of your own life vessel, and self-control is the rudder that guides you safely through any sea, no matter how tumultuous it may be. The Stoics teach us that the world won't always unfold according to our wishes, much like a well-scripted theater performance. Yet how often do we catch ourselves complaining about this fact as if it were a surprise? Constantly lamenting external circumstances or ceaselessly comparing ourselves to others leads to chronic discontent. Imagine yourself as a traveler on a long journey through life. If you spend your time complaining about how arduous the path is and how much easier it seems for others, you'll only make your journey more difficult. Stoic philosophy suggests a different path, practicing gratitude. Instead of fixating on what you lack, focus on the things you already have in your life. Stoic gratitude is like the beacon of light shining in the darkness of discontent. By consciously directing your thoughts to what's already present in your life, you develop mental resilience. You realize that despite life's storms, you still have many reasons to be thankful. The Stoics encourage us to revel in the gifts of the present moment and concentrate on what's current and tangible, rather than constantly striving for more. This way, you'll not only become stoic, but also fulfilled and content. Another Achilles heel that we must overcome in our Stoic perspective is the wasteful expenditure of time and energy on things that hold no meaning. Imagine time as a precious gift presented to you anew every day. However, all too often, we squander it as if it were limitless. The Stoics teach us to consciously choose where we invest our energy and time. Think of them as a finite currency that you can spend only once. By carefully selecting your priorities, you fortify your mental resilience and avoid the dead ends of wastefulness. It's akin to a gardener who invests time in carefully choosing which seeds to plant. They understand that not all seeds are the same and that some require more care and attention than others. In this way, they cultivate a lush garden. Similarly, we should direct our precious time and energy toward things that truly matter and bring positive changes to our lives. Remember that time is a finite resource that never returns. You have the power to decide where you direct your time and energy. Use them wisely to work on your inner garden of virtues rather than squander them on unimportant distractions. The urge to seek recognition and praise from others can draw us into a whirlpool of self-doubt, leaving use in constant turmoil. Imagine yourself as a traveler on an endless path, illuminated by the opinions and expectations of others. Every time someone shines a light of recognition on you, it brings you joy. But when that light extinguishes, you feel lost in the dark and uncertain. The Stoics remind us that our inner contentment should not depend on the opinions of others. This doesn't mean that recognition or praise is irrelevant, but it should not be the foundation of our satisfaction. They are like stars in the night sky, beautiful to behold, but not the basis of our existence. Instead, we should align our actions with our inner values and rely on what we believe is right. Regardless of external praise or criticism, we can take pride in what we do and who we are. Imagine yourself as a blacksmith working in the heat of the forge to forge a strong sword. Your actions should be driven by your own mastery and your pursuit of excellence, not by the expectation of praise from others. Stoic philosophy teaches us that our inner strength and moral integrity are the true measures of our self-worth. When we become independent of external praise, we find a deeper and enduring satisfaction. The notion that you can control the universe and make everything perfect is like a labyrinth that's hard to escape. The Stoics teach us that such a desire for control and an insatiable pursuit of perfection can be paralyzing. Imagine yourself as a sculptor trying to turn a block of marble into a statue. You could get lost in the details, striving for the perfect form, losing sight of the fact that art resides in the process itself. The Stoics accept that not everything is within their control. It's as if they relinquish control over the wind's direction and the tides, instead learning to skillfully steer their sailboat. They strive for excellence and set ambitious goals, but simultaneously they acknowledge that mistakes and imperfections are natural parts of life. A Stoic attitude means focusing on the process and efforts rather than exclusively pursuing the outcome. True virtue lies in working hard without fear of mistakes or imperfect results. Think of a writer working on a book. They aim to choose each word carefully, but they also understand that perfection resides in the process of writing, not in a flawless manuscript. The Stoics remind us that there is unwavering strength in accepting imperfection and the ability to deal with mistakes. The pursuit of perfection can be paralyzing, whereas the acceptance of imperfection allows you to grow and flourish. Clinging to past mistakes or incessantly worrying about the future can shackle us to the present like chains. Imagine yourself as a traveler on an epic journey through time. Yet instead of savoring the moment, the weight of the past and the burden of the future drag you down. This robs you of the freedom to live in the here and now. The Stoics emphasize the importance of the present moment as if it were a precious treasure. Your past should serve as a source of wisdom from which you learn. It's like a book that you can repeatedly open to glean lessons from. However, you must not linger in the pages of the past as if it were your sole dwelling place. The future should be seen as an opportunity for planning, but not an endless source of anxiety. Imagine yourself as an archer, carefully aiming your arrow at a target. You should aim with precision, but then release the bowstring and trust in the flight of the arrow without constantly worrying whether it will hit its mark. A Stoic attitude means focusing on what you can influence today. It reminds us that the present is the only moment we can truly shape. If you dwell too much on the past or are fixated on the future, you miss the beauty and opportunities of the present moment. Live in the now, and don't let the past or future overshadow your present. Be like an artist painting on the canvas of life with the colors of the current moment. The victim mentality is like a dangerous undertow that drags you into the depths, undermining your ability for self-determination. Imagine being in an impenetrable jungle, viewing yourself as a helpless observer while life passes you by. Stoicism teaches us that this is a misconception. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are the protagonist in your own story. When you see yourself as a victim of circumstances, you lose control over your life. It's as if you're letting go of the steering wheel of your ship, surrendering to the flow of the currents. However, Stoic philosophy reminds us that you are the captain of your own life vessel. You have the power to set the sails and determine the course. Take responsibility for your decisions and act proactively. Think of yourself as an architect who aims to construct an impressive building. You plan, you create, you design, you recognize that you have control over the foundation, the walls, and the roof. When things go awry, you understand that it's your responsibility to improve the situation. A Stoic attitude means actively shaping your life rather than reacting passively to external circumstances. You are the creator of your own reality. Imagine yourself as a blacksmith forging the glowing iron of your destiny. You can shape it into the desired form when you take responsibility for your life and act actively. Overcome the victim mentality and shape your destiny according to your own vision. You are the author of your story, the captain of your life vessel, and the architect of your future. As we conclude our journey on the 7 habits that weaken you, remember the Stoic wisdom. It is within our power to remove these obstacles from our path. By eliminating these habits, you are strengthening your inner citadel. Keep this Stoic virtue close to your heart and continue on your path of self-improvement. Thank you for joining us on this quest for a stronger, more resilient life. Until next time, remain steadfast.